All right. I'm here in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk dying. I think the best way I can describe this is to describe my day. Doing a job for Children's Hospital Command Center. And at the end of my efforts and my team's efforts, more people will be safe. More people will be accurate. We're putting up 8 136-inch screens. And the mathematics of putting up the mounts way before we could actually put up the displays, and the tolerances are within a half inch and an eighth of an inch, like up, down, and left, right, because of the way the ceiling and some other I'm not going to call it mismanagement, but construction. You're like, oh, it's going to be this way. Oops. Hey, can you guys? Like, everybody trying to decide. And the team I'm involved with did it. I wasn't in charge. Actually, I worked for a certain portion of this company, and I was loaned to another portion of this company. And I'm very proud of the people that I worked with. I'm proud of my contributions, and I'm very proud of my brothers. At the end of this, it's going to be impressive. 836-inch screens. But as I'm there today, I start getting messages from my daughter's school, and she overslept. I leave about a half hour to 40 minutes before my kids need to get up. I secured the fact that they were up and ready, and so as I find out she actually missed school for the first time this year, unexcused, I got a little bit huffy. And you gotta know me. When I get huffy, or at least nowadays, it may have been different before, I don't know. You can just see it on my face. I'm deep in the realms. And they were like, and they don't know me this way, because I when things get as bad as they possibly can be at work, I'm like, hold on, there's a way out of this. There's a way out. I'm very positive about things as much as I can be. I think it's important, because if you spend your energy on darkness is what you're going to get. If you spend your energy on getting through it, positivity, optimism, whatever you want to call it, but it's firing off at that goal. And then these guys, both of them, lived very different lives than me, the guys I was with today. And I've gained their trust and their admiration, or at least their camaraderie. And what was talked about is the one guy, he lived a pretty hard life. And he was talking about what little rascals his kids were. And he was talking, I had to whoop their ass. I was like, that's not my kids. My kids don't do anything worth an ass beating. If they did, I would. But that's not, I'm talking Alexis, Tana, Evan, and Lily. They don't deserve an ass whooping. Then, like, I think as friends, I really don't. Here's the thing: it wasn't like, you know what I would do. This wasn't that conversation. It was real men talking to each other, and I think they were trying to get me out of my own pickle. And it was like, well, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do this. And God love them. I mean, I listened, but it wasn't my lane. And they were like, and the one guy goes, because they all know one of the greatest things in my life is, you know, when you come home and your dog wags his tail. And you're like, oh, somebody's happy to see me. Lily sits right over there. Right over there. There's a little porch swing under the trees. She sits up with her headphones and she talks to her friends or whatever. And then I get home and she goes, right about there is where I park. And before I can get out of the car, she meets me. And I roll down the window first. I don't even open the door. And I'll sit with me and her have a conversation. It's weird. She doesn't even let me get out of the car. She's like, Dad, this is what's happened. And this, and that, and this, and that. And then also, Lily is very courteous. How was your day? You know, we exchange, and then I'm like, all right, let me get out, let this old man get up out of the car. Oh, you know, I'm climbing up and down ladders, and my muscles are sore. I'm 54 years old. And then sometimes we break apart, and sometimes we go, at least in the summer days, I got a gazebo out in the backyard, and I got a TV there, and it's where I kind of decompress. And Lily will come there with me, and she just, we'll hang out and have some fun or have some talks or whatever needs to happen. Well, one of the guys at work was like, you want to hurt her? I mean, you want to get to her? No, actually. He was equating hurt and getting somewhere. Don't talk to her. Just don't talk to her. And I was like, oh man, that's not a weapon in my arsenal. And then I explained to them, the one thing my children know is there's nothing you can do that will make me love you less. You lie to me, and you're going to think that I love you less. But that's not true. You make a mistake, tell me every ounce of the truth, and I will be there and work our way through it. Or you can work your way through it. I'll just be there and I'll listen. On my way home, I found out Charlie Kirk got shot. The only way I can describe this, the wave that went through my body is like the opposite of an orgasm. From about my neck down, I felt a cold wave. And I mean, I felt it. The chemicals in my body. I felt it rush. And it hurt. I mean, no, it didn't even hurt. I went numb. And there's only been a couple of times in my life that I felt that. I adore Charlie Kirk. And if you don't know who he is, go find out why. He was intelligent. He had wisdom. He hit a lot of the greatest bullet points you could probably need to hit in life. And here's the thing. On those last 15 seconds, if you didn't agree with me, go watch the footage of how he was murdered, because it's out there, and tell me, did he deserve it? He was a loving father, a great husband, really believed in the truth of what liberty should be under what he felt was God's provision and inalienable rights. Had a great argument, regardless of who you were, had a great argument of said theory, psychology, philosophy, government, whatever you want to call it. After walking outside, my daughter Lily walked out and she goes, "Stand up, Dad." I was like, "What?" She goes, "Dad, stand up." I stood up. She walked over. She put her arms around me and she goes, "Charlie was just pronounced dead." I don't like the posthumous thing about crying on camera, and I don't like crocodile tears at all. But I'm going to tell you, at that moment, my daughter put her arms around me, told me that. I put my arms around her, and I quaked. Quaked. You know what I mean? That type of cry where the lungs just, you can't control your diaphragm. And I held her, and it was probably 30 seconds to a minute. And then I clenched, and I stood up, and I turned to her, tears streaming down my eyes, and I go, "I can't believe I want someone to hurt." I go, "This is what I hate about moments like this. I want someone to hurt for this." And I go, "But that's not us. That's not us. I feel myself changing right now. I don't want to change. I want to be me. I want to be a beautiful human being. I don't want someone else to hurt, but I feel like something needs to pay." I'm going to be real careful about my words. Of course I know what type of person shot him. Of course I know who perpetuated it. Charlie Kirk was an amazing human being that woke a lot of young people up from the philosophies that were put forth within our campuses that are ending that. And by the way, the reason I came out here, see how little that flagpole is? Normally it's 30 foot tall, but I don't have a rope on it. I can't do it half mast. And me and my daughter came out here, and because it's telescopic and it's all frozen up, and her and I together lowered that flagpole. And for Charlie, I'm going to keep it there for a while. See that? Like right there. Those are the rings we brought down. I am not grandstanding out of my sorrow, and I hate it when people do that. What I am going to do, I'm going to honor a God-loving man, a great human being, a fantastic husband, and I'm going to mourn for his 3-year-old daughter and his other children that are not going to get to know him. They're going to watch videos of thousands of young adults waking up and realizing he was the best dad they ever had. And if you've seen the video, I'm shot right here. Now I want you to look around, and people are going to say he was full of hate. Trump's full of hate. Folks, they were attempted or were murdered. Laws aren't hate. They're ideas manifested. And when your team don't win out of yapping, Can I say a bunch of stuff without saying it? The same people voting for gun laws are the same people that murdered Charlie Kirk. This is what I told my daughter today. I'm not going to build a better gun. I'm going to build a better wall. Good people do not run. But they're coming for us. I don't want to kill them. I just want to stop them. And within that, there may be some collateral damage. But that's not our intent, young lady. Then I talked to her about praying. First, pray for Charlie's wife, because he was the man of that family. Pray for his children, because they're going to grow up without a dad, an amazing dad. Then, don't wish, don't find vengeance. Pray for a hedge of protection of God's will in this country. If you don't want to waste your prayer or waste your vote, you know that feeling? Pray for a hedge of protection. How symbolic is that? If you're a God-loving human being, pray for a hedge of protection. Don't pray for violence. The sirens are there.